Gracias.
All the best.
Adios.
Adios.
Not the result that we wanted in Florence against Fiorentina, but the 2-0 defeat isn't the end of the world because we still have 5 games to go in the UEFA Conference League phase. So still everything to play for. As always, I added to my personal football memorabilia collection 3 items on this occasion. First of all, we flew out on a chartered plane, and on the headrest for every seat was one of these. And I thought, I'll take that from my collection. Forgot all about it, didn't really think about it until we got off the plane and then onto the bus that takes us to the terminal. And one of our players, Danny Davis, had taken his. And as I was filming some of the players coming onto the bus, Danny did that. It reminded me. I thought, so I went back onto the plane and there it is. So a very unique, special item of memorabilia. Press passes are always those, of course, in European games. I did have an access all areas, and I don't know whether it's just for the league phase and beyond, but certainly hasn't been for the qualifying rounds. But UEFA has got a pass that lasts for several seasons, and it's not even for any particular person. I had the access all areas, which means I can go anywhere, which is great. Dressing room, pitch, anywhere, which is fantastic when you're doing filming and putting videos together. But unfortunately, that one had to be handed back at the end of the game. But I did have one of these issued by Fiorentina as a club. You can see there, it's actually got my name on, so that is very personal. And this is what the press have. So it's got the club lanyard there. So that's great, isn't it? And this gives you access to the technical area, the pitch, and the press area. That was for me specifically. All the other things are crossed out. But the access all areas, I can do all of those. So I did manage to keep that one. Obviously, that goes into my collection, and keeping the best until last. Let me tell you the story behind this one. In our last home league game, obviously with the European fixture on the horizon, there was a lot of interest from national media. So we had quite a few journalists there on the night and following the game. They wanted to do interviews, and the journalist that came down with me, so I showed him where the pitch was, or how to get to the pitch and where the players would be when they came out, was from the Daily Mail, the Mail Online. We were having a great chat as well. He wanted to interview Connor Roberts, and we talked and chatted, and as it happened, the players didn't come out that quickly on the evening, and some of the journalists had to get off. So he did his interview in the week. All went well. I read it in the Mail Online, and Connor, being the goalkeeper, was saying that in Italy, he'd love to catch up with David de Gea. Of course, ex-Manchester United player, Manchester United goalkeeper for many, many years, played lots and lots of games for Manchester United. And when I read the piece, next time I saw Connor, I said, that would make some great footage. When you work in media, you are creative and you are always looking for opportunities to create some great content. So I said to Connor, if I'm not around at the end of the game, I'll try to be, because this would be a scoop. I'll try to be around, but if I'm not, make sure I am. Get word to me or come and find me wherever I am. That would be great to film. As it happened, I was there. David de Gea came out the dressing room. Connor was waiting for him, and they had a chat. But before he did meet the goalkeeper from Fiorentina, who was on the bench, by the way, in that particular game, I got my team sheet and I said to Connor, I think I'll get him to sign the team sheet for me. He said, give it to me. I'll get it done, because he had De Gea's shirt, which he signed for him. And I filmed it. I actually clipped the bits just relating to Connor and De Gea and the shirt, put those out on the internet, and as you can imagine, that has gone viral. Lots and lots of views for that. So as I've already said, great content. If you work in media, that's always what you're looking for, isn't it? I guess if you're a photographer, you're always looking for that special photograph, that special image that just sets you above the norm of perhaps where you are with the ordinary, everyday type of shots that you get. Well, I'm the same when it comes to media in terms of capturing footage or images or some other type of content. And that certainly ticked the box as far as that was concerned. And you can see the clips, which you'll see following on from me talking, and you can see the clips that I've put together where he signs Connor's shirt. They have a little chat as well. Connor makes reference to our plane with a propeller that we travelled to Italy on. So they have a nice little chat, and then he asks De Gea, can you sign this for me? So he says, of course. So De Gea gets the pen, says, who is it to? He says, Rev. And he says, Rev? And Connor starts to spell it out. And he gets a bit confused with that one because obviously some letters can become different ones in another language, etc. So David De Gea gives the team sheet and the pen to Connor, who writes Rev. And as you can see from there, I think initially he was going to write to Rev, but then just changed it into Rev. And then he asks, do you want it in English or Spanish? I said, in Spanish. So he writes that one in Spanish there. There's the message. Now I know that para means two. So Connor's wrote Rev. I think that's really unique, isn't it? Because the story behind all of that is that Connor Roberts wrote Rev and then David De Gea filled in around it. I think that makes it even more of a unique item. And I know mucho means many or lots of. I can't quite make out those words there. Now, if you speak Spanish, you can probably see straight away what they are. I've tried to look at them in the context, and I would imagine it's to Rev, lots of wishes or best wishes, something of that nature. But if you speak Spanish, tell me exactly what those words are there. There's the team sheet. Very, very special items from our trip to Florence. Over the seat on the chartered plane, the personal press pass and the Fiorentina lanyard. But I think head and shoulders above everything, the team sheet signed by David De Gea. And here is the footage that I've just been talking about.
Nice. Go in Spanish? Yeah, why not? English,
España.
What's the name? A-N-T. E. E. How long was the trouble? Plane? Oh, 2 hours. Our plane was one of them ones with the old-fashioned propellers. You were scared. Thank you.
Bien, Rev.
Video.
Gracias.
All the best.
Adios.
Adios.
I'm a polyglot.